Good morning and welcome to the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. Today we have Dr. Ashep speaking with us, and you know Ashep, he's a healer. He works up here at the Institute. So I present to you Dr. Ashep.
No problem. The topic is life. Not just life, life more abundantly. As seen through the Kemetic tree of life. Yes. So let me just set my prop up so that we can have some visualizations going on as we, just share my story. Okay, now let's see. You won't know who I am from what you perceive. But if you listen when I speak, then you'll receive a glimpse of who I am. And then you'll believe. And have a life of peace. Because your soul is at ease. You see, my source is the essence which this world was conceived. Which means that I was here before the birds and the bees. Now, if you have not guessed, I am eternity. But now, if you have guessed, and you've guessed correctly, that simply means we share the same destiny to realize we are the God in Trinity that is talked about in Christianity. Now, some will say that that's vanity, or go as far as insanity. But that's because they believe in Western theology. But as for me, you see, I choose ancient, more rich philosophy. Not to say that's the only path to immortality, but that's the path for me. This life, you see, as I devote my life to helping others be free, so they in turn can reach their full divinity. And this is done because the He and I and the I in peace.
Peace. Peace.
So with that, I just from the beginning. But here it began.
In the beginning.
In the beginning was the Word. Right? And so, for the most part, we come to where it is now. We're talking about the beginning of what I call source. Simply put source. But it's the source from which every last thing in creation that we can think of, have not thought of, that will come into, have not come into. Any and everything came from this source, right? And so I'm just going to put this spear right here. This is going to represent source, right? Okay. The beginning of everything, right? And I'm going to put the number 0 in here, and I'm going to call this Amen. It's in the Christian tradition, Amen. It just simply represents, like I say, source. Before the creation, this is where energy matter is undifferentiated. There is no hot, cold, up, down, male, female. The male and female is actually in one, so there is no male and female. It just is. So it's Amen. Now, so what happened was, I had a thought. I said, wait a minute. I became aware. What happened? I became aware. I said, wait a minute. I became aware that I'm everywhere. Right? I'm everywhere. So I'm going to put this as representing of everywhere. Because every time I come into a conclusion or level of awareness or consciousness, I'm just going to draw a sphere we can relate to that sphere as far as this is my level of consciousness, right? Starting from the very beginning, before creation came down, before the universe, before the Big Bang, there was no pain, but I was there, right? And so I said, wow, this is the first thing I did, wow. I'm going to say, this is Oser, right? But I also realized that not only am I everywhere, you know, we call this omnipresent. Omnipresent. So, I'm not only everywhere, I have the potential to bring into existence anything I want. I mean, you know, so I have the potential, I have the will, whatever I will, whatever it is, like, wow. I say I'm everywhere, and whatever I can will can come into existence. And not only do I have the ability to will anything, I have the energy to bring it to existence as well. So this will, let's say, is sphere 2, would say, this is Tahuti, right? This is omniscient, omniscience, omniscient. And then we have 3, Seker. And these are just the names as, you know, most commonly in most trees of life, because just like everything else, all systems, there's not just one tree of life. There's not just one Kemetic tree of life, depending upon the age, the time, and what was going on. However, it serves the same goal and the same purpose. So again, I'm sharing my story, how I use the tree of life on my journey to self-realization. And most of my information comes from the Osiris Society, which is exactly 2 doors away from this wonderful institution right here. So the names I'm using is the names that was I was taught, you know, in that system. So Seker represents the omnipotent, omnipotent, all powerful, right? So again, what happened was, you know, I'm just like, I wasn't even aware. I'm just like, okay, I am. I was like, wait a minute. I'm everywhere. I'm all powerful, all knowing. Wow, so these are my attributes, right? That come from within this sphere of our men, within this undifferentiated energy matter, right? So I'm just connect these like this and say, boom, 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 right? And from most of our indoctrination in Christianity, we know that this is what the attributes they call of God. God is omniscient, omnipresent, you know, omnipotent. Well, that's what they did a good job in describing that. Okay, cool. I can get with that because I realize that that's, you know, what's happening. So now, right, once I realize this, I say, well, shoot, I'm gonna create something there. I'm gonna make something happen, right? So, in order to create something, there first must be a plan. There must be something that governs how I create. I'm not going to just create some or, you know, not know why or have a purpose. You know, it has to be connected. It has to be governed by laws. Everything I do is going to be done in decency and in order, right? There's going to be a connective thread, and everything's going to connect whatever I do, right? And so this can be looked at. I'm going to call this spirit number 4, Ma'at. Boom, Ma'at, the law. Everything I do is going to be based upon the law. Everything I create is based upon the law of Ma'at, which is the law of interdependence, right? And so, not only is everything be based upon the law, I'm going to put in place a faculty, something that was, you know, ensure that the law is not violated. You're right? You know, there's got to be some consequences, repercussions if the law is violated, right? And so, I say, well, at sphere 5, we're going to say, this is Heru Kahuti. Sphere 5, right? So Ma'at deals with the law, boom. And Heru Kahuti deals with the enforcement. Now, how does this enforcement work? Well, in the nature, you know, we can call it like cause and effect. For every cause, what's the Don says, every cause is an equal and opposite reaction, cause and effect, right? Boom. But at the same time, you know, for man, for man who has his free will, we're going to call it karma. And the reason why, because as I come to experience all of my infinite creation, right? I must experience everything I put out. And that's my karma. Everything I put out, I'm going to experience that. That's karma. So it's a little bit different from cause and effect, but it's similar to cause and effect, right? So, and at the same time, I have a law here. I have here the enforcement of the law to make sure everything's in balance, cause and effect, woo. Now I need someone to execute or properly to execute this law. And so, let's say at Spirit 6, this is Haru. Yes, executor. Executor of the law, right? So here we have boom, 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 right? And so this can be looked at as a government, my celestial, my divine government. Because I have the legislative branch, the family that makes the law, I have the legislative branch. I have the judicial branch that judge and say, okay, well, something happened, so we got to bring this back, to bring some balance back. It has to happen, whether you like it or not. That's the law, baby. The enforcer, boom. The judicial, right? And then we have the executive branch, Haru, right? Executive, same thing. Boom, who makes the decisions based upon the law, and also, so we got this whole government thing going on. Like, wow, this is easy. I got a government in place to oversee the facilitation of whatever I'm going to create. So now, what else do I need? Okay, well, I got the government in place. I'll say, oh, I need the workers, those who facilitate the orders that's coming from the government. Okay, wow. So what we need here, we got a 4, 5, 6. We're going to come down here at 7 and say het Haru. Now, what het Haru job is as a worker, I say, okay, well, we're just going to bring stuff together and make it real pretty and get an image. And so we just bring things together based upon their appearance and say, so then your job is to group things based upon how they look on the surface. And give that image. Oh, I see the picture. Image. So we bring things together. Image. Bring an image. Paint the picture so I can see it. The image. Oh, okay, cool. So that's what this worker does. Then across from this worker, we're going to have, Kemetic. Kemetic. And what Kemec's job is, I need something to say, okay, well, I can see how all this stuff goes together, but look, if you look at it though, this is how it comes together. So Kemec, it just really breaks down the different pieces, like the scientific, analytical, kind of break things apart, right? So we have image over here, and then we have analytical, scientific, it kind of says, yada, 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 yada. And these two work hand in hand, though. So you got an image, you know how it works. You got an image, you know how it works. Now, these workers are great. So what happens is I say, wow, I got the government there, I got the workers here, they know how to put things together, they know how to identify the separate parts of things, and woo. So now, this is for whatever I come into creation with. So now I need a worker that's going to take all that information, everything up here, and bring it into creation. So I say, manifestation, baby, there it is. So we say, 9, assets. We just say divine womb. Divine womb. So boom, we have this going on right here. Boom. So we got the government, we have the workers, and when they work together, right? Boom, everything coming based upon, I can do anything. I got the law, the government, the people in place. Then we come down here, which gives us Geb. What is Geb? Earth. What is Earth? Well, that is simply everything that the science can perceive from the electromagnetic spectrum and the periodic table. Plain and simple. Booyah, right here. Wow. And so, and all this is really connected. So I just draw the lines here and say, boom, shoot-a-doo, here we go. Connect this like this. Like this. These are pillars, yada, yada, yada. And then her root, my main man, her root, see, her root's connected to all of them. Straight down the middle. Aha! And so, this is how I created creation. I said, okay, that's not, it could be done in like 6 days. The Bible says 6 days God created heaven and earth. So, you know, or, you know, a day is like 1,000 days, 1,000 days is like 1 day, or 1 day is like a second, 1 second like a day. Just matter, you call it what you want to call it. This was happening, baby. So first day I said, wow, I'm aware. Second day, wow, I can do anything. Third day, wow, okay. So the first 3 days I said, wow, this is what's going on. The fourth day I created my government. So I said, okay, I can do all this. The fourth day I created my government, right? The fifth day I created my workers, right? The sixth day, earth was created based upon everything I did here. On the seventh day I rested. When I say I rested, I rested. You know, I've been resting up until about, I would have to say, at least this life incarnation objective. This is when I came around this lifetime. And what I mean by that, I rested, meaning, like I said, I was here before the universe came into existence, right? Then once I put the laws into place, because I said, well, I can create this, I came down to earth, because this physical body is nothing more than a representation of all these faculties. Right. All of these faculties are represented here. Why do I say that? Because not only, right, are we giving names to these, we can identify, right, the vibratory frequency of each faculty. What I mean by the vibratory frequency, right? Most commonly called, I'm going to say this is my story. Y'all just watching me tell my story, right? So I said, okay, cool. We have, okay, I'll set the divine moon. This is represented by the physical, by the planet of the moon. Booyah. Okay, we got Kemetic. This is represented by the planet Mercury. The energy, right? Heteru, this is Venus. Heru would be the sun. S-U-N, S-O-N, I will call it, it's still the sun. Heru Tahuti, Mars. Ma'at, Jupiter. Secular, Saturn. Tahuti is Jupiter as well. That's the beauty, they both share Jupiter. And Osir is really just a reflection of the Amen, the first cosmos, so he's actually representing all the planets, right? So, that's why I say, when you see Gaia, Earth, the physical plane, this physical body is in this physical plane. So therefore, I'm in this physical body, right? And this physical body is made up of the electromagnetic spectrum and the periodic table. Boom! You know, we got to eat the vitamin, the vital minerals, the vitamins, make sure the body has, all this stuff inside, the electromagnetic spectrum, right? But at the same time, this body has these representations of these planetary energies, which have given personifications or deifications, right? To the body, most commonly represented by the 7 chakras, right? So again, I have a physical body that can be, has these things that can be, that science can regulate and input, they can, the electromagnetic spectrum and the periodic table. There's also energy frequencies that cannot be detected by man-made devices, like the chakras. You can go get an MRI scan and see if there's a part of your brain that's damaged. And what they're doing is they're seeing, is there any activity based upon the electrochemical processes, right? Any part of the body, they're sensing vibrations of these machines. You really can't sense the chakras like that, So, we're going to get more into that a little bit later. So again, like I said, when I came down here, I went to sleep and forgot that, this was happening. This is who I am. I am all things, so, right. So any questions about creation before we move on? Yes, go right ahead, Colin.
Why do you use a Solar, Secure, Tahuti, those names? What do those names represent?
Well, those names, the simple answer is, when I was studying, this is what they said, we're going to call this Osir, we're going to call this Sefer. And I mean, they went into a little bit more detail, but the type of person I am, I don't really need to know too many details about too much, none if I can get the understanding, the essence of a thing. So, I'm not sure why they call these names this. I just know based on my studies, I say, okay, I can use these names. I'm gonna use these names and identify these faculties, and I'm gonna work with it just like that.
So, therefore, you're really basing it off the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscience, those kind of things, more so than the names.
Right, the form
The
function.
terminology.
Yeah, the form function. If I know what a thing is, its form and its function, you can call it what you want to call it.
Okay.
You know, in fact, that's a characteristic of Kemetic, Mercury, communication, identifying, labeling. That's what I say, you know, Kemetic can label this, that, and the other, which is wonderful. But what happened is, in my journey, I found out that I was getting too much information anyway. Kemetic was just like going crazy. Give me information. What it is, how to do it, what it do.
Ooh,
I was like, man, and slow this. Damn, it's too much information coming in.
Right.
You know, so I had to start doing something with it. Right? You know, which is why I'm up here at ISC, because I was out there just, I got this all the information. I got it. Just excited about having it, but really wasn't working. Right? It wasn't doing nothing. Except talking. I mean, I was doing something, just not to the point where it was some, I can say I'm constantly growing spiritually, personal self-development. Right? Okay, good. So, as I say, once everything was created, I went to sleep, because when I first came on the plane, I was experiencing myself in my divineness. In fact, I wasn't even a male. I was male and female when I first came on this scene. I was androgynous, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna split up and I'm experiencing myself, male and female, and see that interaction. So I began to really, really enjoy creation. You know, enjoy it so much that I just like went to sleep and went to rest. You know, I forgot about, you know, my divinity, that, you know, hey, man, I got caught up in the world affairs. So, then, like that's what I said, this lifetime, I came to a realization, aware constantly, wait a minute, you know. And it first began like in 2000, not 2000, actually 93, 94, right? When I was starting my journey in Christianity, and I found out that, wait a minute, not everyone has to die. And it wasn't just Jesus, it was like Enoch, you know, it was Elijah. It's like they didn't die, they just walked with God. So at that point, I committed, I say, well, how do I get that relationship with you, God? Because at this point, God is God. God, how do I get that relationship where I don't have to die and just walk with you? And so that's like, I don't really want to do that thing. So over the years, my path into different cultures, different, you know, truths, you know, see the light, you know, all the way around. So much so when I came up here to ISC, right? I took a little vacation last summer. When I came to the ISC, this spiritual enlightenment. One of the things that Tahuti kept saying, which most people know him as David the Wizard, but Tahuti to me kept saying was just be aware. Be aware. Be aware, right? And my story really takes shape and takes form here at ISC, you know, because like I said, this lifetime, even before as a child growing up, I've experienced, you know, like most of us go through, you know, not in the details, but to say this, right? If the people, the man, the system found out at that time what I was going through, I probably wouldn't be here, because I'd probably be off to some foster family or path to a different route. But it's statistics. Hey, shit happens, right? Right? You know, and all helped shape me. I had the program condition within there that goes on over there, right? So then, you know, like I said, in 1993, I began my spiritual Christianity, yada yada. You know, by 2001, when I actually came across the intellectual information about the Kemetic tree of life in 2001. So it took almost about 7 years, right? Right, 7 years, right? I said, Christianity, I want to die. How do I do it, God? 1994, 2001. I was like, oh, the combo said, Resurrecto said, this is my shot. Okay, cool, I can do this. And I was like, I thought I had it then, thought I had it. One thing led to another, I didn't have it. I was just walking around excited. You know, about some information that I had. That's all. Shoot. And every time I talked about information or found someone who was open and ready to receive, I got even more excited. Like, wow, this is great, wonderful. And I really wasn't doing the work, right? So again, when I came up here to ISC last fall, it's been about a year now, it's October. You know, still had all this intellectual information, right? And David Tahuti kept saying, I just have to say, just be aware. You know, this is a major astrologist right here, you know, because you know, I can put like, okay, the moon, you got Cancer, 7th Mercury, you got Gemini and Virgo, Venus, you got Libra, Taurus, you know, Sun, you got Leo. So there's a correlation definitely with astrology. I love it because, again, that's astrology is the abyss, baby. And my say was like, that's too much information, so I'll let Tahuti handle that, right? So as he's talking, I'm just getting like bits and pieces because he's talking about the planets and the junction. And I'm like, wow, it sounds wonderful. And now you gotta hit something, I can use that, I can use that, I can use that. And the main thing that I was using was feel. Just look at things, just look at things, just look. Don't do nothing, just look. Don't do nothing, just look, right? And so when I came up here to ISC, well, in that time, I was like, man, I just came off a vacation. Most of y'all knew about the vacation. If not, I was on a vacation. When I came back off vacation, you know, I wasn't working, no income, no nothing. All I could do was say, look here, if you want somebody to help answer the phones, I can help answer the phones while I'm up here at ISC, you know. So I just started answering the phones, right? You know, the first couple of days I was up here kind of slow, the phone was ringing, so, you know, I was kind of napping, thinking, oh man, this is wonderful. But then things started to change. I started to feel different. I was like, wait a minute. I could be meditating when I'm up here. Why don't I just meditate? So when I was up here, it just came to me, it just feels so wonderful, this energy. It's like, wow, I'm going to meditate. Then I had that idea, well, let me just invite some people. Just on Wednesday, come meditate with me. And this was like in October, November, but I wanted to start in the first of the year. Because even though I had meditated like years of practice in the past, I had kind of gotten away from like daily meditation. Then talking about like leading a group meditation. Whether anybody comes or not, still just to announce it and to be ready for someone to come up here and meditate. I was like, man, I'm gonna start it one day a week, and I'm gonna do it the first of the year, which means that I was beginning to meditate every day. Just, you know, I'm up here, I'm gonna open it up, boom. And so I was beginning to meditate, and when David kept saying this look, it just became, I couldn't help but to look because I was meditating. I was slowing down my vibration. And I began to look, I began to see some stuff. First of all, like I said, I was beginning to see that I had a lot of information, right? And I really wasn't using it. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, I've been fooling myself. Oh, and so I was like, hey, get no more information. I'm shutting down that. I'm getting really serious this time. And what do I know? What do I stop? Begin with where you are, right? Like I say, I already knew that this is my baby right here. I'm like, this is my path to enlightenment. I can work it, right? So what I started to do was this. He said, be aware. I said, yeah, he was like, well, you know, because he's talking about your heart, your mind. He was talking about you go to sleep, you have a dream, and you wake up and you don't know what happened in the dream. If you do, you don't connect to what happened in real life because they're so far apart. And, you know, you just, he was talking to me. I was like, oh, man, he's right. Like, why is it kind of looking through it, right? So what happened was when I started looking, right, this is what happened. Okay, my heart and my mind. What is my heart and my mind? I was looking, meditating. So it came to me and my students said, wow. So, my mind, put mind here. 7, 8, 9. 5 leads of the mind. Then I say, my heart. That's what I said. For my heart, my mind. Why I say that? Well, because most of us understand that our mind deals with thinking. I can't stop thinking. My mind keeps thinking. Again, that's Mercury all day. So you got thoughts, thinking, Mercury, thinking. Right? What are you thinking about? I'm thinking about whatever I took in the trance. Whatever it is I've been identifying with. If I identify with something out here that is, I think is real, I'm thinking about that, and I got emotions, I got feelings about that. So I'm thinking about this. I got the emotions, right here, the moon emotions. And with emotions, right, it's easy to go in a trance with emotions. I mean, you get emotional about something, and you're just emotional. You're not thinking clearly, you're just operating this based off emotion. That's a mediumistic trance. So you go in a trance. It's about doing things, like I say, with this thinking right here. Oh, and don't let the image come in there. The image, you see an image, visualization, imagination, right? Imagination. So, I have yet to have an image, or having a thought to go with that image. And the thought is basically on the thinking I need to get to the thought that says, oh, this is what this image is. So in order for me to say what the image is, I have to already have some type of information going on and say, oh, that's that, a relationship. And depending upon how I feel about that thing, my feelings will determine what it is about that. I was like, oh, that's how my mind be operating. I'm seeing this from a roof. That's how my mind be operating. Okay. So what about this heart thing? So this heart, well, I be saying I'm gonna do some stuff. I be willing. I say, I will. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I have all the great intentions. Why? Because constantly I want to do good. I want to be right. I want to be right. I want to be righteous. So I say, I need to operate like this so I can be, spiritual growth. I'm willing this thing, but this is my will. But we know if this is too strong, the programming, because the mind is the thing that gets the programming, right? Again, starting out without feelings, get these feelings. Without even speaking, we know, oh, I like that. Whatever the case may be, we have these feelings coming about. And then we get to communicating and thinking, we get to put these, we can say, oh, if I do this, I get this, if I do that, I get that. And, then at some point the imagination comes, we can get to see it before it happens, to plan things, right? And then, if it's not aligned with true divine, then we could be planning and getting stuff and doing things that's out of order. And and this becomes our programming, our day-to-day program. We become so comfortable with it. It's like, okay, cool. I got this, I'm happy. Wake up doing the same thing over and over, feeling good about it, because we run off a program. But then the wheel say, well, wait a minute, this program is not doing me any good because I'm coming across some information now. That one of the factors in my heart is law. This law said, my conscience, this law, it's starting this, I need to make some better choices, but I can't from my programming. My heart. But the thing is, also this stuff in his heart here at Kahootie, right? If our conscience is going against what my heart is telling me to do, because this fabric here is the enforcement, the judicial, there's consequences and repercussions again for me going against what I'm willing based upon my heart to do because of this programming in mind. So that's how we find ourselves getting in all kind of what we call trouble or situations that how did I get here? What's happening now? Why is this going on? Because we wasn't constantly minding the store, we was running off our programming, and our programming was not in line with our heart not in line with our mind. So this thing's going on because it wasn't in line. We got this force coming back and saying, you weren't in line, so because you weren't in line, you got something to bring you back in line. So that's what measures in the heart and the mind. So I say, wow. So I say, so if I get my heart and my mind aligned, right, then I will develop, a whole personality. So that's just my personality right here. So I said, my personality, my heart, my mind, and the faculties of my heart, my mind, my personality. So my heart, my mind become aligned, and these faculties are open and working and functioning properly. My heart, my mind are aligned. My personality is whole and complete, which means that my soul now, my soul is just a representative of all men. And within all men, I'm omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent, right? Boom, my soul. So now my soul and my personality can be infused. Why? Because I and my Father are one. Because my heart, my mind is aligned, my personality is whole, which means that it's a soul-infused personality now. So I say, oh, dang, wow, that's what I got, wow. Just by watching, just slowing down, snipping, ISE, meditating every day. Hey, wow, I don't want to watch it. My heart, what's that aligned? What do I know? This is what I know now. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, what? How do I do that, though? This is intellectual now. This is, again, intellectually great, wonderful. Anybody want to sit down and let's talk about it, great, wonderful. Then someone say, well, how do you do that? I was like, just got to do it. Just got to do it. Just got to will it. Just got to do it. Yeah, well, that ain't really helping nobody nothing. So I say, well, I got to do it. I got to do it. Because can't nobody say you but me. I know it. Now I have to become it. So I take this intellectual information, intellectual knowledge, and how do I live it so that, again, as I stand before you, tell you my story on my journey of self-realization, meaning self-realization, I realize this, not just intellectually, but I realize this through experience. Meaning, I not only realize that when I go to sleep at night and I'm not dreaming, I'm past the rapid eye movement, the realms, and I'm at peace, I'm in a state, my consciousness has returned from whence it came. I said, that's a real thing. So, what must I do to have my consciousness remain here and here at the same time while I'm aware of it? Which simply means that I will be aware of all the levels of densification of consciousness as it comes from source to manifest creation. Right? So I said, okay. Mission possible, I can do that. Again, did we just say what? So I said, well, this requires some work. The first thing I need to do, I need to identify with a root. Right? That's what I said. I need to identify with a root. Why is that? Because identifying with God had really got me too far. As soon as I found out about the tree of, even before the tree of life, what made the tree of life in 2001, I was like, oh, I'm God. I'm God. I'm God, y'all. Hey, I'm God. I'm God. I'm God. I'm God. You God. You God. We gods. Peace God. Peace God. Peace God. Peace of God. Peace of the true living God. Islam. Myself, Lord, Master, right? So I had the language now because I had the intellectual knowledge. But then it's like, wait a minute, if I'm God, it's still shit I want to do. I can do this stuff. I don't want to God. I still have to meet somebody. I get arguing. It's like, oh, what's this? It's all about God. Like, ain't God. I have potential to manifest God, and sometimes I do. When I'm not manifesting God, I'm manifesting the opposite of God. Which means I'm manifesting the devil. Okay, cool. That comes up realization. I'm either the God or the devil. So it's like, man, that's just, look here. I'm going to identify with Haru. That's going to make my life a lot simpler. Haru. I'm Haru. Why is that? Let me tell you a story, right? Once upon a time, there was this cat named Osir. Same, right? Osir, right? And he was the first king of Egypt, right? He was his rival, And he had a queen, Osir and Osir. The first king and queen, brother, sister, husband, wife. And Osir put it down, they put it down so well, they looked at it as gods. They were like, man, they gods. Gods walking around here because they united up in North Egypt. They united. Everyone was happy, peaceful in the land, and living like the divine lifestyle, right? I mean, there was no war, no murder, no killing, no nothing. Because they were God. They were putting it out there like that, right? Osir, right, has an evil twin brother, right, called him Set. And Set is actually up here too. We're going to put Set right here in, over here with Kemetic, right? Because what happened was his twin brother Set said, look here, oh man, I can do what he doing. All that. In fact, I need to be doing that. In fact, I'm going to get him out of here. So that whole jealousy, that lower nature, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get him. So I can do that. I want to do that. I'm going to do that thing, right? So Set had a plan to kill Osir. He did. He got rid of him. So what happened when Set killed Osir, Set was like, oh, no. He's gone. And so what Set did, Set took the body, chopped it up into pieces, like, 14 pieces or so, and scattered the body all over, man. I was Set, like, oh, well, my man, I didn't go fly. Just, looking, he got the children, like piece they have kind of thing. And they were down, they gathered up all the pieces, right? She found every piece of the body except the balance, the sexual reproductive part. Like, ow, found everything like this, So, but the best she could, she remembered Osir. She put the numbers back together. The various aspects of the pieces of Osir was scattered, so she put the pieces back together. She remembered Osir. However, since she didn't have the balance, and he was still, delightful, apparently dead, made the transition to the other world. her sorrows, her devotion, the devotion, that trance, she went under trance, that emotion, that feelings were so strong that, man, she had a immaculate conception and gave birth to her Ruth, the son. So what happened was, okay, I got a son now, so I said to the son, nurtured the son, taught the son, like, like all mothers do, from the womb, hey, look here, baby, this is what's happening, what's going on, this is what, you Seth did this, took care of him, but the thing is, Haru, you can't kill Seth, But the thing is, right, Seth is actually your lower nature. Seth is a part of you. What? So Haru, get the instruction, all said, had her twin in the baboon, Tahuti, all seeing eye, and the story goes on and on, this is battle, some battle, some battle. But then all of that, Haru becomes a hero. He actually subdues Seth. He doesn't kill him, but he subdued him to the point where the lower nature is now working for the higher nature. So they're in accord now. So Oser or Haru now uses Seth, right? And the reason why I put Seth down here with Seth is because Seth, right, uses Seth, uses communication, the belief, the thinking, right? So that's how he turns you against yourself. Seth comes in after that thinking, hey, come on, man. Oh, come on. You want to, you want. It feels good now we used to do it. We can do it, come on, So Seth is doing all this thing right here, right? So the reason why I shared that story, the main thing is that by me recognizing, identifying with Haru, I'm saying, first of all, I'm looking to get my instruction from my Seth, Mama Bear here, because, I came to ISC, Mama Bear was like, she ain't do nothing but just tell me who I am. Like, this is who you are. Gave me some tips and suggestions. Oh, hey, man, this is how you man. All set right there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got all set. I got to Julio. He gave me an instruction to Julio. Okay, to Julio's thing to do. Okay, boom. Wow. So, what I got to do is deal with the lower nature. Meaning, just simply the vibratory frequency of my mind, more specifically, as well as my heart. Because my heart can have, be open up and get these, my Mars, my Jupiter, my Sun, get the chakras and lines so they're balanced and harmonized as well. So that's the work to be done, right? To get my energy system in balance and line and harmonized, right? As Haru. Another reason why I enjoy identifying with Haru is because, that's like Horus. These cats are like Osir, Osiris, Oset, Isis, Haru, Horus, and Set, Satan. Or God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. Right? It's all the same, like I say, depending on the words. But since I understand the essence, that's what I'm dealing with, the essence. I'm going home this lifetime. And I ain't got too much time to deal with, well, if this word is it austere or Osar or look here, man, call it what you want to call it. What does it do? What's the form function? Right? So again, as a room, I said, okay, cool. I'm doing the work. Yeshua, the Son, S-O-N, S-U-N, S-O-N, again, how you want to look at it. Yeshua, Jesus, Buddha, because when you look at the story of Jesus, he was down here dealing with it, Satan on the mount, what I'm saying, with the hell, Hades, whatever the case may be. So he was doing the work. He never at one point killed him. It was all conversation. Look here, man, you know better than that. Get in line, whoop, whoop, whoop. Even casting out demons, you get out of there, whoop, whoop, whoop. What I'm saying? He just restoring balance even where he go on this plane. So, that's what Haru does. So that's why I identify with Haru. So it's Haru, I said, okay, I got this up intellectually. What must I do, right, to make it happen? So Haru came with a plan, right? And a little while ago I spoke about the breath of life training, meditation initiation system, or BOLT, B-O-L-T, BOLT meditation initiation system, right? Which is a 3-phase, multi-stage initiation, right? And within this 3-stage initiation, the BOLT meditation initiation system that I shared a few months ago, we have stage 1, we have awareness. Right? And the awareness stage is simply awareness, strengthening the cell of my heart and my mind, right? Then I have the identification stage, or identifying, and this 3rd stage is the oneness. So So that's like my bread and my butter. Because within the boat meditation initiation system is the Kemetic tree of life as part of is my initiation. Like I said, I created it. That's what Root did. Root created. I say I got to do this. So I need a vehicle that will allow me to manifest this thing that I can actually know. So again, my vehicle is the boat meditation initiation system, right? And I already began that, as I said, about just being here meditating every day. That helped me develop my awareness. Not only helped me develop my awareness, I began to settle and strengthen. Strengthen. Setting, y'all know what it is. Settle and strengthen, right? So the awareness stage, I settle and strengthen. Those are really on meditating. What am I settling? I'm settling my spirit, settling my vibrations, calming it down. Shut out, y'all. And as I'm doing that, I'm strengthening the relationship between my heart and my mind. Because I'm willing, peace, be still. I'm saying I need to calm down, I need to calm down. By using the breath, I'm actually doing that. So my mind is actually obeying my heart as I say, peace, be still, by focusing my breath. I said, why would you being aware? Now I'm being aware, allow me to just sit and make some adjustments, corrections where I am right now, so that I can get some results. So I say, okay, cool, what's next? So, in my initiation of the boat, right? Okay, cool. I got, you reach the point where I'm not totally always there, cool, calm, and collected. But I've practiced enough. When I'm not there, I can say, peace be still. And go back there. Right? So then I say, well, okay, cool. Now it's time for me to go to level 2 of my initiation, which is the identifying stage. Identifying stage. In identifying stage, I am calling home and purifying. Purifying. I'm calling home, I'm purifying. And identifying stage is where I am now. And I'm identifying not only my heart, my mind, my personality, my soul, I'm identifying the various faculties that make up each. Right? I'm calling home the pieces of myself that's out there that I'm thinking about somebody else, thinking bad thoughts, or happy thoughts even. It's the same thing. I'm thinking about something. If I have a thought about something, some place, or something, and it evokes a feeling within me that's like, oh yes, oh no, and I'm right here talking to you, and that feeling comes, that's a part of me attached to that thing. Right? So, my story. So like, okay, cool. What I need to do is call home my pieces so I can be aware. Any thought can come through my sphere of awareness without me being moved from my peace. Right? So I say, okay, cool. Call home and purify. How am I doing that? Again, begin where I am. That's a rule. Okay, I created this boat meditation. Where am I? I started from here. Amen. Before the universe. Now that I'm down here on the earth in this physical plane, I got to start on this physical plane. What do I mean by that? Meaning this. Out of this boat was called the essence of one. Now the essence of one, right, actually came about when the heart touch therapy, because realizing there's a modality that I created called the heart touch therapy, to touch the heart as a therapist. It's just as important for the practitioner to have a certain lifestyle of harmony, balance, and peace, living as a heart touch therapy, as we transfer that to the participant. So I developed some tips and suggestions on the lifestyle someone could do as a heart touch therapy that will, enhance them as a practitioner. And lo and behold, out of that came the essence of one. And in all fairness, it was actually sparked by my colleague, brother Aaron Motley, the essence of one. Which is actually oxygen, nutrition, and exercise. And in all fairness, the boat was sparked by him also. He's a breath mastery technique. We exchanged some information, at the core, on our level, the heart touch therapy, his information, and we're doing it. So,
what's the boat acronym again?
Breath of Life Training.
Okay.
Breath of Life Training. It's a boat meditation initiation system. And as I was speaking on, this is what I created as Haru. And saying, because once I identify, I know my mind, my heart, I know the faculties, I know the chakras, I know all this information. But how do I take all this information I know about who I am, and on this physical plane, and incorporate it into a lifestyle, develop a plan such that and I work my plan and plan my work, I'm just growing to realize that which I know.
Cool.
Right. So that's what's happening. And so I say I created the boat meditation initiation system, this year, and I shared it a few months ago. But since then I've been living it more, and I'm like, okay, wow, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, what is the essence of one? Again, beginning where I am. As I mentioned before, Geb, up here. Geb is the earth physical plane, right? So what must I do on this physical plane to observe the laws of my eye? Because these laws of my eye govern everything. So there's some laws that govern me being on this physical plane that I must adhere to, right? One of them is the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm simply says that just like the sun rises and sun sets, and the moon rises and the moon sets, there's a different energy that's going on when the sun is out and when the moon is out. And during their transition, that energy is changing also. So it is a cycle, right? And the circadian, or rhythm, the rhythm of the energy of the cycle, right? So the circadian rhythm simply says that after a certain time, I shouldn't be eating. Mainly around 8 p.m. Sometimes from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., my body want to take and assimilate those things which I put into it earlier the day before. Get out the knee, do some healing, take stuff out, yada, 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 while I'm resting. Let it do what it do. Then between 4 a.m. to 12 noon, the kind of time when I begin to awake and become conscious, I want to break my fast. I haven't eaten in a while. And I break my fast very gently. Juice, fruit, whatever, something very light. Even though I was raised off the standard American diet, breakfast, eggs, pancakes, sausage, you should love it. It tastes good, it's a jelly up in the grits, and I used to mix stuff all up together coming from Alabama, man. Love it. Love it. It's all in here, no big deal, Shoot. So what happened was, I said, wait a minute, I got to not do that kind of thing in the morning, right? And then in the afternoon, when the energy is high, between 12 and 8 p.m., that's when I can, eat my biggest meal, the sun's out, I'm active, boo, boo, boo. So that's part of being on this plane, just being mindful of the natural rhythm. So if I want to go from here to here, I got to start where I am, being mindful of the laws that's already in place while I'm on this plane. Right. So I said, okay, cool. Dealing with the electromagnetic spectrum and the periodic table, the circadian rhythm helped put me in a rhythm where my electromagnetic spectrum, the energy flow, the electricity stuff, and the vitamins, is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Because when I accompany the circadian rhythm with the essence of one, oxygen, nutrition, and exercise, what I'm saying is this, right? Great, the electromagnetic spectrum, periodic table is all there. But I also have these chakras, I have an energy system, right? I have this chi, this life force that animates the body. That makes the body do what it do, right? So, I'm breathing all the time, oxygen. The main thing of oxygen is breathing. So what I need to do is develop a way to breathe where I'm always and most consciously connected to the chi. Because as I'm breathing, I realize in the lecture that there is not only the oxygen in the air that I breathe, however, the chi, that's what's in the oxygen, can be extracted by the body. Wow. How do I breathe to stay connected? Oh, that's how I breathe to stay connected. Let me just practice it and do it as much as I can. Because I'm breathing all the time. Right. Oxygen. Nutrition. Well, like I say, I've been raised, I've been at a lot of stuff, in the South. I love it, have my favorites and everything like that. But I realized also that I may have been doing an imbalance to the body. Meaning it was too much of one thing. So the information I came across saying, okay, generally speaking, the foods I eat can either be alkaline or they could be acid. Right? They can have a positive charge or a negative charge. They can either enliven the body where it's conducting electricity, alkaline the body, or it can acid the body where it's disease and stagnation and just the wrong temperament vibration for the body. So with nutrition, I say, well, I'm just going to eat more alkaline foods. I'm going to keep it simple. What are alkaline foods? Mainly raw fruits and vegetables. Naturally, not so much the hybrid stuff, but mainly all natural fruits and vegetables. So my diet, in fact, I don't even have a diet no more, thanks to Seven, I have a live it Now, I've done the diet thing. I diet. What type of diet you want? What's your diet like? Man, I'm tired of dieting. I'm not dieting no more. I'm living now. So my living is a mainly plant-based diet, mainly alkaline-based. However, I do choose to eat some alkaline acids because we can't be 100% alkaline. And that acid is just whatever the programmer likes for the most part. It's acid, But only the mainly alkaline, so great. So nutrition. Also, the nutrition is, food. We got the water also. And with the water, let me take a sip because you just came to my spiritual awareness, so take a sip of water, right? Because water can either be alkaline or acid at the same time. And most of us need these days on a common machine or various machines, you get your alkaline water, right? What I've done, there's some water in the back, whoever wants some water. I just put I call it amazing water. Because I have an amazonite crystal, I just put it off in a gallon jug, set it off in the sun, a day or two for myself. That's when I just get as much charge and as I can. So the crystal infuses of water, so I'm drinking the products of water, called amazing water, right? And also nutrition, right? Well, real quick about the water as well, right? Because with the water, it's two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Two of the most abundant elements in the universe. Hydrogen being the first and foremost, right? And one thing about hydrogen is that it goes in and out of reality. Hydrogen comes from here to here and back. So it's like hydrogen doing that thing, right? Physical body is mainly water. It's mainly two gases. Our brain is mainly two gases. It sits in mainly two gases, which we call H2O, water. And the thing is, how does thoughts come? Where did they come? Where did they originate? How did they do this? How did they do that? Well, if hydrogen comes in and out, the brain is mainly water, hydrogen based. It sits in hydrogen. The body is mainly hydrogen. The cells, water comes in and out of the cells. So it understands the reason that hydrogen is a key component in these thoughts that I'm having. In communication. So water, it's generally water communication. It heals, it lies, it does all these wonderful things. But communication, on this level, we need to stay hydrated. Because hydrogen stands for water forming. Stay hydrated. If we're not hydrated, we're dehydrated. We don't have a hydrogen, which means we're lacking communication. Which means our thinking is not clear. That drinks of water, I can think clearly now just by drinking some water, right? So, nutrition, number one, we got the physical food. I mainly do alkaline. I do some acids, whatever it may be. I like it, I do the water, make sure I drink plenty of water, and mainly my own water that I infuse from my own crystals. So it has some, not only being hydrated, I got some metaphysical properties going on that's interacting with things also. I'm going home this time, baby. I'm serious about it. Mm-hmm. All right, this is my plan. This is my story. I'm telling you, this is my story. Right. And aside from the, like I say, the water and the food, nutrition, we got the thoughts. Because what happens is this, realizing that, just like this, all these energies come in, the energy come in through the crown chakra, boom, come down the spine, boom, goes out through the various chakras, they got the tendency of boom. What happens is, when the energy leaves my body, it can either leave in fear and doubt or love and trust. Come on. So I say, wow. The thoughts. So I have to be mindful of the thoughts. If they're leaving, if they're leaving in fear and doubt, that means I'm not connected. Meaning I don't believe somehow, some way that I am who I said that I was or intellectually. I just don't believe because I have some fear and doubt. So it goes back to the thinking. So I have to be mindful of, safeguard my thoughts. Then whatever comes in is in alignment with what I say that I am, who it is, I believe. If it's not, I got to check that thought. Because thoughts is nutrition. We're talking about, eating food. How's your diet? How's your living? How's your thinking? Is it empowering you? Is your thoughts like nutrition? Once you finish eating, I feel good and energized. Once you finish eating, I'm ready to see if I got itis. How's your thinking? I'm thinking, oh yes, I feel great. I can do that. Or am I thinking, you know what? I don't want to do that. I can't do that. Oh, but what? They're doing this. What's my thinking? How is the nutrition that is coming to my body down here on this plane? I said, man, I need to watch this. I need to watch this thing. Great. So that's what I'm doing. In the essence of one, just watching my finger. Great. Then the exercise part. Yeah, we just down here on there. The exercise part is like, okay. They say walking is one of the most simplest or yet beneficial exercise there is. It is. Well, you know walking, right? So I said, wait a minute. Because like I said, all this, the essence of one is with the chi. So that's got to be a way for me to walk. And these acupunctures at the bottom of my feet, right? Well, I can walk and activate them. Well, I'm actually drawing the yin in from the earth. Right? Even when I'm standing, that's got to be a way I can stand. You know, feet parallel, bend the knees, make a little suction right here. And I can actually draw the yin energy from the earth into my lower touching area, right below my navel, and sense the energy there, and feel connected to the earth. Wow! So walking can be a very divine, spiritual exercise by being connected. And if I'm breathing right, with this oxygen, I'm just walking and breathing and being connected with the yin chi and the Helen chi, and they're combining within me, and I just feel alive and confident and secure, like I'm on this plane, I know who I am, and I'm just observing what's happening. And since I got the nutrition in, the thoughts of the line, I ain't worried about nothing, I'm just at peace and just observing what's happening. How's your day? You get some help? Oh, if you're ready, let's talk about it. I'm not, hey, I'm still doing the work. Right? So that's how I'm living at this earth level of care on this physical plane, right? That's a root. Like I said, I saw what was going on. I had to make some choices. And like I said, I'm going to forget a lot of stuff and just start where I know and just deal with this physical plane. Right? Cool. This is all in the boat meditation initiation system, right? And I'm an initiator of it. So once I deal with this, now it's time to really get it in with dealing with the essence, the mind, the heart, the personality, the soul of my being. The thing that animates this physical body, right? Cool. Identifying stage. Call home purifying. Call home and purifying. I was in the gap stage. Purifying the thinking, purifying the thoughts. I'm calling energy home. I'm doing this. Now, as I identify, right? First thing I'm identifying with, as I said, I started here, physical, right? Now, sex, again, this is the movement. It's like first shot. Okay, cool. Keeps me grounded, emotions. Now, what's best about a set is that I'm going to use a set to identify with Osset, because Osset is devoted to Osset, her husband, first king, right? So I say, boom. I'm using my Osset faculty within me, right, to devote and commit myself to becoming Osset. And how am I becoming Osset? By becoming the son, the child of God. Another reason why I identify with the rule is because if I tell somebody, especially cats I'm dealing with, you know, I'm God, baby, I'm God. What you mean, you God? Come on, man. Come on. And now, especially, you know, I'm not walking on water. I'm not cupping my hand. I'm not saying cup your hands and this and wine in your hand. Whatever. I'm not doing none of that stuff, right? Yeah, I say I'm God. It sounds good. However, I say I'm a child of God. I'm just a child of God. Child of God. People say, oh, I'm a child of God too. Oh, we all children of God. So, tell you what. You ready to grow up? So we grow up. As a child, we'd be like, we say, I am a father or one. Oh, you see me, you see the Father. Once I grow up. So again, I didn't buy a root. I just bring up a whole lot of barriers between me and someone else who may not be aware of this information. I just toss out the window and say, let's connect. I'm a child of God, man. You a child of God. I'm a child of God. You a child of God. I'm a child of God. Let's connect. At the same time, I have a plan, right, for me to grow up the ladder so that I can realize, you know, I'm a father of life, right? So again, I use my set faculty to identify, boom. Right, boom. So this is my initiation. This is part of my initiation, right? I'm using my set, okay? My emotions, my feelings. What do I feel like? Feel like I'm God. What does that feel like? It has to feel like peace. Because that isn't where I come from. Meaning the peace of God that passes all understanding may guard your heart and your mind. Through all understanding, through all. Well, it says, the peace of God. This is the peace of God that passes all understanding because it passes the mind. I can't understand that. I can't understand how you're not feeling a certain way about a certain situation. If that happened to me, oh baby, if that happened to me, oh baby, I ain't gonna let nobody do me like that. I'm gonna stick up, I'm gonna show them something. Cause I feel like I gotta do this. Man, I just feel peace, man. I don't know what I'm just feeling peace. So I'm using my settings and initiation to just say, man, I'm identifying with a higher thing, right? And how do I really affirm that? By using my setting, by using my thinking, by using my Mercury faculty. Because setting is all about communication, right? A messenger to God and beliefs, right? So you gotta put beliefs down here. You thinking, you believing. So once I set my identification straight, I say, boom, even so much, right? Like I say, I put Cancer and the Zodiac up here, but that's Davis, that's not really my lane. So much to the point where I really don't even like to talk about mine. Somebody asked me my sign, what do you mean my sign? My thing is now, what sign are you talking about? Sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, ascending sign? What sign are you talking about? Right? Now you want to talk natal chart. We can talk natal chart now, but that's a whole different thing, talking about natal chart. Just my sign, because what usually happens is, if I say a sign, first thing somebody's going to do is identify, oh, you that way. Oh, you this way. I met them. I got a so-and-so like that. They start comparing me. They're like, nah, man, And they may be off anyway, because they're just going by a sign. One particular something that could be off. So, But with all due respect, someone like Tahuti, this brother here, he knows astrology. So I can sit his feet all day and have some questions, because he knows it. But again, with me, I'm just like, my identification is what's going on right here, right? So again, once my intention is set, my identification is set with, okay, all set, I'm devoted to self-realizing this lifetime. Now my beliefs is in line with my thinking. How is my beliefs in line with how my belief in line with my thinking, my actions? Well, this is the work at this level of 7. Dealing with the beliefs, dealing with the thoughts. Make sure that every thought is in line with who do I identify with. Who do I identify with? Right? Again, if I'm identifying with a Sagittarius, then my life will be based upon what a Sagittarius does. If I say I'm identifying, I'm a Cancer, baby, I'm proud of that. I'm limiting myself to all the traits of a Cancer, so-called positive, so-called negative. Now, the detriment to that is what happens is, you identify with 1, 2. If life calls for a situation that you may have to have some, this is moon, this is cold and wet, you may have to have Haru or Herakahuti, which is Mars and the Sun, that hot and dry energy. You may need to manifest that hot and dry energy for something. If you're saying, I'm a Cancer, I'm water, that's fine, I'm water. Then you limited yourself already. So again, enough of that, we already know that. So again, my story is, man, I'm unlimited. I'm unlimited because all this is the entire zodiac is me.
Come on.
The entire everything.
Check it out.
Who did you do? Right?
All 12 signs.
All 12 signs, baby. It's in here.
All 12.
And I'm learning how to be in a constant state of peace and relaxation so that whatever needs to come through at that time can come through. I'm just allowing it to come through because hey, man, that's what's coming through for me. One of my struggles. Do something, right? So, then we get to the header with the image, imagination. The imaging in, the act of imaging in, imagination. So now, again, as I said earlier, my thinking, my feelings, and my imaging are all so closely related. You got to be good to really separate your thinking from your imaging. Meaning to have an image and not thinking nothing about it, or have any feelings about it. You got to be good. You could, I'm not saying it can't be done. However, since I know that they're closely related, what I'm doing is this. My imagination, right, also with Heather, is this joy.
Come on.
This is the emotion of joy. This is where, the most common thing is just imagining. Just close your eyes, imagine it. Imagine yourself with it. Get excited about it. Yes. And as you meditate, get excited about it, what you're doing is you're arousing that Venus energy, that second chakra, to bring something to manifestation on this plane. You're manipulating the energies, which is great. I mean, that's cool. That's what we're supposed to do. Use that too. Use that faculty to do it, right? However, if you imagine something, you just bring something in it, right? Based upon your beliefs. Because I believe, if I bring this into manifestation, if I get this thing, or if I accomplish this, if I go over here, if I marry that person, this person, if I believe that happens, I'm going to be the happiest person. Feels good. It just feels good. Based on my thing. So, again, this is the work of the mind. I mean, this is how my mind works. So what I'm doing is a rule. I'm saying, wait a minute. I'm breathing, I'm slowing down. Wait a minute.
All right.
Stop. Peace, be still. Let us look at some things. And I begin to say, who am I identifying with? So I changed that. Right? So I say, my thing got in line with what I believe. That changed that. Now I can imagine. Okay. How am I imagining that? Nah. Okay, cool. I can imagine that. Then get excited about it, or vice versa, and image comes with it. I don't want that to happen. I keep thinking about it. When I think about this thing, right, I can see it happening. When I see it happening, I got these feelings. This is so. But I can't stop thinking about it, which means I can't stop seeing it, which means I can't stop the feelings from coming. I just can't do it. And that's a cycle right there. Been there, done that. So like, man, I gotta stop that. How do I stop that? Coming back down to the breath. Because again, in the awareness stage, you develop an anchor. Say, look at this. Why am I? So, okay. What's really going on? What's really going on? Yeah. And so all the time when I'm actually doing this, we were just waking up and we was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Because I'm exercising my will. I'm exercising my will by looking at what the hell I'm doing, what am I feeling, what's going on. I'm looking at it. I can't look at it if I'm not exercising my will, because otherwise I'll be looking at something else. So my will, instead of looking at something else, oh, look what's on TV. Oh, what's over here? Oh, who's doing that? Oh. So I look at it. Bring my awareness and attention on the inside. Because the kingdom of heaven is on the inside. God is within. The kingdom of heaven is on the inside. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. All these things should be added to you. So I go inside and I see the kingdom of heaven. I say, wow. So again, I started doing some things. You have a question, brother?
No.
All right.
I was trying not to talk, make sounds. I didn't want to interfere.
Oh, make some sounds.
So I went inside, man, just kept my mouth shut and just say amen.
All right.
Hey, bro, you're on the road, bro.
That's right. We'll say amen out loud. It's all right. It's all right. Put that sound vibration, like the sound of confirmation. Sound waves.
I think, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to put a muscle on my mouth.
That's all right. Don't question spirit. Right. So again, as I'm doing these things, Haru is just waking up. And the Haru recognizes that, okay, Eric Kahudi, right? To be enforcer. This is just a thing, right? I'm realizing, okay, cool. Now what happens is, by me exercising my will in the right way, right? Like I said before, if I chose to constantly do something against the grain, against what my heart is, against the laws of my heart, and I know that it's the laws of my heart, this thing can bite me in the ass. Somehow, some way. This lifetime, another lifetime, depending upon how deep it is, right? It has the potential to, because we can always king things that will transcend things if we actually serious about doing the work. Have to disclaimer in there. But just on a regular progressive thing, it's boom, 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 boom. You do something, something comes back. You put it out there, you're going to experience it. So, what happens is, the more I exercise my will in the right way, this puts this force on the offensive for me. Meaning, this is what they say, there's a hedge of protection around you. Although I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil.
Come on.
Vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. Meaning, I ain't got to do nothing to nobody. And I'm going to do the right thing for the right reason. They gonna get theirs in somehow, some form. So I ain't got to try to get that. Stop that. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be going up. Erica, who did do that?
Egos.
That's right. So as I'm in line, exercising the wheel, just focus on getting my shit together. Erica, who is out there doing this thing on my behalf? The angel of death. Or transformation. Depending on the degree that you try to harm me and stop me, Must be some serious transformation in your life.
Ooh.
Ha, 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 ha. Right? And I ain't doing nothing except breathing.
Come on.
Except breathing. Right? Which, of course, I say is a rule being operated. Because I'm only saying get in line aesthetic, because you got to get in line with the laws of my eye. Right? As I get instruction from Tahuti. Right? Because what happens is, as a rule, as I think how a rule work, living as a rule, and I'm connected to everything, all the spheres, as long as I'm at this sphere, operating, looking, observing, everything else is opening up. Everything else is, the faculties are being open. They're just being open. They're being open. So my personality is becoming whole. You know, because I feel we're talking about like that here, right? Once your mind and your heart and your mind's aligned, you know, you live like a, see my eye. The interconnected, the interdependentness of all things. This is something else, right? This is what my eye does. Looks at connection on a deeper level. It sees how everything is connected. Underneath. On the surface, you may not consider, the white man, European man, whatever you want to call him, and the black woman, man, they so far off this thing. But my eye sees how they connect. My eye sees that, right? Then you got Herakahuti, right? Opposite of my eye. Herakahuti looks at things on the deep level and can separate things. He was like, black men, this, black men, that. You say, wait a minute, nah, slow your roll, shorty. So you got some black men, you can see they're black men, but they are more feminine than they are masculine, so their energy system is totally feminine. Even though they're not walking there and nothing like that, but you go in that vibration. So you say, now all black men are the same, because some of them be even more, and that's just one example, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because look at the tree of life again. Up here, my faculties, right? If I'm standing before you, Tahuti, right? The wheel, left brain, master. Second, the power, the energy to make stuff happen, creativity, right brain. However, the right brain controls the left body. The right brain controls the left body, the left brain controls the right side of the body. So the masculine of Tahuti, the wheel, controls the left side of the sphere down here, which is masculine and masculine, right? Sevic and Herakahuti, Mars and Mercury. Over here you got Sekert is corresponding with Jupiter and Henry. And basically what I said was, okay, Sevic separates also. The Sevic separates on the surface. You can look at something and say, this is a chair, this is a floor. Or, I'm tall, he's short. It separates them on the surface. Herakahuti, it can look the same on top, but Herakahuti knows how to see the underlying difference that you can't perceive. Right? And the same thing over here with putting things together. Herakahuti, oh, it's a pretty picture. It's a pretty flag. You see everything is so pretty, pretty. You can see how things work together on the surface. Right? However, my eye, on the surface, it can be totally apples and oranges. But my eye see how they come together. And so, to the degree that I'm able to view any and everything like that, to see how it's connected, not connected, on the surface and beneath, to the degree that I'm open and can see things circumspectly. Because not just things have this going on with them, events, circumstances, situations. Why? Because everything in this plane, even the event, circumstance, situation, is governed by a particular energy vibration. Right? And again, once you settle in and know the energy vibration and be aware of it and can discern it, pick it up, you'll know the underlying cause of any event. You can intuit it. You become this. So, yeah, come on. Just intuit by knowing. Right? And so these aspects, this is looked at like the lower left, the lower left brain, lower right brain, upper right brain, left side, lower left brain, upper left brain, lower right brain, upper right brain, creativity, brings it together. So we know just another correspondence of the tree of life that I made. I saw. Other one is, of course, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. I say 1, 2, and 3 because they represent as the sixth chakra, the heart chakra, and the second chakra, which have a very key relationship. Anyway, let me get back to my story because I'm looking at this thing, man. I can go all over the place with my gaze. It was right there. I'm looking to keep it real simple. Real simple, tell my story, how I'm using this to go home. And that's how I'm doing, I'm going home, right? So again, yeah, that's basically it. Like I say, I got down here, I got the something going up there. Any questions stuff about this?
Well, can I comment?
Go ahead, comment.
I just wish I had been here from the beginning. That's just one comment. I wish I had heard from the very beginning. Martha Ashby, are you familiar with this? The tree of life that he has in his
I've seen it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
It's this is structured different. So is this different? I'm searching for what to say. School of thought or whatever. For example, it has raw up at the top, and then shoe, nut, give, nut, or saw, or set, nut, and then a root.
Right.
You know. Now I noticed you said so. Yeah. So if you got any information on this, could you comment on this one? Because I guess what I'm saying, I'm taking it there are different trees of life,
Right.
conceptualizations or something, and that you can. Here's my prayer. What is wrong with you? I'm gonna find the one that resonates with my spirit. You know. So now when I know so this is the one I've been. I say playing with. I just vibing with.
Right.
That's what you vibe with.
So
That's what you vibe with.
That's what I've been vibing with as a baby.
Because there's
talks about
another one as well. There's a Hebrew, same thing. You
All
can
right.
use astrology. So you just go with what vibes with your spirit.
Yeah, I see what resonates now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this one here for the first time. And when you laid it out, excuse me, like player, that's bad. That is super bad. I mean it from a positive. When I say player, I'm talking about from a soul sense. You just having fun up in there. Anyway, and it sounded like you were saying in my awfulness, it's like your, how you pronounce your name? Ashep?
Ashep, right?
This is Ashep's resonating.
Yes.
Tree of life. This is
Yes.
a personal, spiritual thing that's bringing you to your amen.
That's right.
You all right?
That's right.
And each of us in here need to get our own.
That's right.
Because it's going to be unique as your fingerprint.
That's right.
You know, but it's going to all take you to the realization.
Exactly.
You know?
That's
so
it.
I just jumped into this and started playing around and having fun, man.
Right. That's all I did.
And so I pick up your joy and your energy when you're in yours. And I'm in the process of nurturing mine.
Right.
So and the last thing is I'm bringing this one up to say there are others.
Yes.
And what I'll just say, everybody find yours.
Yeah. Yes. That is my prayer as well, my brother. Find yours. Find yours.
And
right.
believe me, we're gonna connect like me right now, and we connect.
Yes, sir.
We got an infinity symbol going. I had to sit back here. I was saying amen so much that okay, let's go. Because everything we was saying was just making so much sense to me.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Like you said, this is I came across this tree of life 2 doors down, the Sarah Set Society.
Okay.
And when I was with them, they were actually up on George Avenue.
Okay.
And so, like I said, like you did that, it resonated with me. And I just said, I'm making this baby mine.
I hear you.
I can deal with this.
Uh-huh.
Right. So much so that, right, I mentioned a couple players in my story earlier. I mentioned Offset and Tahuti, right?
Cool.
You got Offset right here, Mama Bear.
So what up?
Mama Bear. I call
Mama Bear.
Reverend Dorita Dixon, I call her Mama Bear.
All right. I'll say.
She's my Offset.
Come on.
Because like I said earlier, I was talking about, this really came alive for me when I started living it. And I really didn't start really living it till I came up here to ISC.
Not just reading about it,
Right.
on the edge of the pool,
Right.
getting in the water,
Right.
and you'll have your own unique.
Right. And so what happens is, as I begin to live it and begin to identify my mind, my heart, my personality, my soul, and the various faculties of the mind, of the heart, of the personality, and of the soul from within me, and begin to balance out and harmonize and says, okay, let me work the tree of life, starting from here, going up, as a root. Then I began to see what was on the inside manifesting on the outside. Meaning I began to see all set. This is all set right here. Because as I've been here, she's like, you know who you are? If you didn't know, she'd let you know this is who you are. Like the say, she'd give you the answer. What more you need? She'd tell you who you are. You say the door is open, ain't no class going on, the space is available, what you gonna do? This is who you are. It's over. Come up here and do something. What you gonna do? And she's been waiting. I said, wait a minute. Shit. Okay, cool. And you might be there. Well, I was set. So I said, nurture, whatever you need, she supports you. This is who you are, do the damn thing. Come on now. So, Haru said, oh, I got all set, so I'm not just working with my first chakra, getting in line, harmony, balance. I actually got a physical representation of the divine energy right here. Then, okay, I got my beliefs, my thinking, my communication. My brother, Kushon, right? Because every time I talk to this brother, he can get no basketball, no football, no none of that stuff. This stuff. So the numbers, another day what happened to me was, as I was walking, this image came, and I stopped, I didn't know what it was, and I got it, and it go. Because Mercury is the fastest planet, that communication is on. So I just got to peace be still. Engage with brother, just listen. As he communicates, man, I be getting so feared. This is communication, just this information. Let's say it's about the information. This brother, he has so much information. He can tie stuff together. He helped me understand this better. And I mean, brother, you sympathize. Okay. That's Mercury. Okay. That's right. Ela Kushon, Seven. Brother Seven. Yeah, man, that's my, God, message of the gods right there. Live and in flesh. And a root, joy, imagination. Even more so, sensuality. Right? Simply using that feminine energy. Right? And it's all its aspects, right? For me, my Christian. Some of you know her, some of you don't, but since May, she came up here and I actually been working with her. And, some things going on. Yeah. So, Haru, I mean, I can go on and on and on with the various, Tahuti over there. So, I've been called for time, so we got to cut it short. But I must say that...
You're not cutting it short. You're on time.
Oh.
At 1 o'clock.
All right. So, yeah. So, time is up. So, that's my story. And for the rest of my life, that's it. I'm an initiate. I'm doing it, and that's it. That's what happened. That's what I'm doing. Period.
Thank you.
Wonderful story. And to answer your question, there are a lot. Everybody is the same, but we're different. And that's what we need to understand. You're always going to